In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create a table in HTML. Well, this is a little bit more advanced than the one that we did before, but this will be our reference for starters, and in this tab is where our output is going to be. So the first thing that you need to understand, like we talked about before, everything that we need to include in a table will fall in what are called table tags. So the first thing that you need to do after creating a new file is you insert your table tags like this. You open them and then you close them like this, right? And then you create working space. We'll ident as we go, but for the meantime, let's just know the concepts. Okay, so our attributes are going to come in our table tags, but we need to start off with this one and know what it is. This one will be our caption. So we include it as the caption. So we open it, the caption tag like this, and then we close the caption tag like this. And inside we put the text ICT department as our caption like this. Okay, and then we save. So you realize the ICT department is not bolded, but here in our reference it is bolded. So we use what is called the strong tag inside the caption like this, strong, and then we close the strong like this. Okay, and then we refresh, and there we go. It will be bolted. But we're going to include other concepts like centering this and also including other things. But now we need to move on to table rows. So our table has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rows, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns. They'll be going up, but they have some of the cells have been merged, but we have 5 columns and 8 rows. Okay, so we're going to be doing this 8 times. So we start off, every table row is declared with the arrow tag like this. We open it and then we close it like this, which is TR. We close it like this, and inside the TR we're going to start off with this row here. But as you can see, this row is somewhat different from all content inside this row is somewhat different from all the content in the other rows. So we're going to call it, so it will be the table header like this, and then we close the table header like this. Okay, and then we type the text inside the table header, which is ICT courses like this, right? And then we save it. So as you can see, the ICT courses is at the center. So as our attribute for this table header, we then type align is equals to center like this, and then we refresh. There you go. But you realize that all these concepts, they are not really included because we don't have the lines that which are called the borders. So we go back to our table and then we input the border. So the border is going to be having the size 3 like this, and then we save. And then when we refresh, there we go, we have a border. But we don't need the border to have an inside border, so we will remove the inside border by typing this. We say rules is equals to all like this, and then we refresh, and then you see we don't have the inside border. And then our caption, we need to center it, so we just do use the same concept, which are our attributes align is equals to center, and then we refresh. Okay, it's going to, our table needs to be aligned at the center again, so we are going to just align it like this and remove this attribute, since all the content is going to be aligned at the center like this. Okay, so then we need to continue with what we need now. Don't worry about some of the things not really proving to be orderly. So let's continue now. We now need to go to the second row with this one NC. Now in this second row, it will come again as the table row like this, and then we close it as table row like this. Okay, and then we create space. Now in this table row, we have this table data NC and 1 year. But as you can see, this table data NC is covering 2 rows. If you see the extension of this line here like this, it will be covering 2 rows, covering 2 columns. So the extension, since it's covering 2 columns, which is NC, it's 1 row but 2 columns. So this is what we do. We put the table data here, we open the tag, and then we close the tag like this. Okay, now since NC is going to be encompassing two columns, that is NC, it's going to be encompassing 2 columns. As our attribute for the table data NC, we type colspan for column span. Since it's spanning 2 columns, it's equals to 2 columns like this, and then we save, and then we refresh. As you can see, we have NC, but you won't be able to see it until we complete this last row. Then we have another thing that we need to include. As you can see, the cells are larger than what we have here, so we need to increase the size of the cells. We then say cell padding, we're going to just have as 20, so equals 20 like this, and then we save. It's just one word, cell padding, and then we save, and then when we refresh, the size has increased. Okay, then we go back to our table row here, which is NC. We need to input again this column, which is part of this row, which is row number 2. So we do the same. We just copy the text here, we copy, and then we paste here, and this one will be 1 year like this. But you realize that this section 1 year, this table data 1 year, it's encompassing how many rows? It's 1, 2, 3 columns. Sorry, it's 1, 2, 3 columns, going up, and going up. So for our columns, it's 3 columns, and then we save, and then we refresh. We have our 1 year here. You will see the 3 columns when we finish the whole table. So we go back again to the next table data, which is ND here. It's a new row again. So we create table row, and then we close table row like this, and then we create space again. So we have our table data. So TD, we open the tag, we close TD like this. So this one we're going to be including ND. So as you can see, ND has got it has been merged with 2 columns. So it's this one and this one going up and going up. That's 2 columns. So ND, that's ND, it's got how many columns? Colspan is equals to 2 columns, right? But there is one attribute that we need to add in ND. As much as ND has got 2 2 columns 1 2. It also has got 3 rows which are merged, which is this row extending to the end, and this row extending to the end, and this row extending to the end. So we add this attribute in the table data tag, which is rowspan is equals to 3, like this. So note how we're not adding the table attributes, the table row attributes inside here, because they're only affecting the ND table data and not all the data. So when we save, you realize we must have something like 3 rows, but you only see the 3 rows that have been merged when we add table data for this one and this one and this one. So now we need to add these sections here, that is first year, second year, and third year. Okay, so for first year is still in this first row here, which we have already created. So we just add the table data for first year, which is TD. We open the tag and then we close it like this, and then we add first year like this, and then we save. If we refresh, we're supposed to have something like this. Now we need to do the same for second year and third year, but second year, as you can see, it's already a new row, and third year it's already a new row. So this is what we do. We just copy the table row, we just create a new table row like this, and then copy and paste this information here. Then we just edit it to second year, and then we save. So it's open and it's closed, and when we refresh, we have a second year. So we do the same again now for, just gonna indent this. So we do the same for third year. We copy and then we paste like this, and then we type third year, and then we save. If we refresh, we're supposed to have third year like this. So this is how many rows that have been merged by ND, which is 1 row, 2 row, 3 rows here. So there we go, our row span, which is how many? 3 rows. And then we have 2 columns, but the column span, we're going to see it when we finish the table. So we go back again to the reference. We need to create this row, which is incorporating the table data degree and HND. So by now you should be familiar with the concept, and we do the same again. It's table row. We're just gonna copy this part, and then we're gonna, but let me just type it so that you will understand, in case you might get lost along the way. Then we open and close the table row again. So we then include the table data, TD tag, and then we close it, and then we add the information degree again. So as you can see, degree is encompassing 1, 2 columns going up. So we say colspan equals 2, and then we save. And then when we refresh, we're supposed to have degree at the bottom, and then we need to have HND. So we're just gonna copy this row here, and then we're gonna add it here. Sorry, we're not supposed to copy this row. We are still in the same row here. So we just say TD. We open the tag again, and then we close it, because we need to create this one first before we go to short courses. So we need to type HND, and then we save. So HND now is encompassing 3 columns, which is 1, 2, and 3 columns. So we write colspan is equals to 3, and then we save. So we will reveal some of these things when we will be removing some of the attributes and see how it will affect the table data. Okay, so now we need to create this row here, which is the 7th row. So we just go again. I'm just gonna copy this simple row here, and then I'll paste it at the bottom and edit it. So this row will be called short courses, and then we save it. And then we need to understand that this row short course is encompassing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns. So what we can do is we can just say colspan is equals to 4, or we can just say colspan is equals to 100, just for 100%, whereby when we finish the table, it will just include the total number of columns which are there, and then it will match them all. So then we refresh. So for the meantime, it will cover the already appearing cells like this. But now we need to make sure that this one appears at the center. So we just say align is equals to center, and then we save, and then we refresh. Refresh on this one, and there we go. It is appearing at the center. Now we need to go back to the final row, which will be the deciding one for everything that we're going to be doing. So I'm just going to be creating a new row at the bottom, which is row number 8. So not the same concept I was using is the same concept I'm using here, whereby we just open and close the tags. But I'm just going to copy. This row has been opened and it's been closed. So this row is going to contain columns Microsoft Word, MS Excel, and everything. So what we do now, we're just going to be copying and pasting this 4 times, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4 to make it 5 columns. And then I will call my first column MS Word, and then my second column will be MS Excel. My third column will be MS PowerPoint. My fourth column will be MS Publisher. MS Publisher. And my fifth column will be MS Access. MS Access, like this. And then we refresh it. But then we save it, sorry. And then now we need to understand these are not even merging any row or any column. So when we refresh it, it's supposed to decide everything we were talking about. And there we go. But then we need to consider this part again here, whereby it needs to extend to the end of the cells. So we just say that is for first year. Where is my first year? Which is here, our table data. So our colspan will be equals to 3, like this. And we save. And as you can see, as we talked about, it's encompassing how many columns? 1, 2, 3, right? So colspan will be 3, and then we save. So we do the same again for this one. We do the same again for third year, this one, and then we refresh, and there you go. Our colspan is extended. Okay, so So that is the part we had actually left. So if you look at this, you realize that our table here, the